what I did want to cover was I had a listener send me a question and through Instagram, and he says, is a young kid, he says, so I'm thinking about getting my real estate license and also investing my first $1,000 that I've saved up, and I don't know where to start or where to put my money so I can get on this investing stuff. And this is Robbie from IG. So that was his question.
I mean, I know I'd tell him to start.
Go ahead.
Invest in yourself is the first thing, because $1,000 is a lot of money, but it's also not a lot of money. And you can, if that's your only $1,000, you can lose that very quickly if you're trying to jump into like stock market and trying to get behind trends, especially when you don't know what you're doing. I would invest that in a series of books. I wouldn't get into much like the personal development courses and stuff like that, because I think you're entering like kind of scam city there with a lot of them. But there's numerous books you could read to figure out what piques your interest. What do you want to do? What do you not want to do? You want to get in this real estate thing? Read books on real estate to see if like it's actually something that you're interested and passionate about. If you can read the books, there's not even a whole lot of them out there that I would say recommend, because they're all very repetitive for the sense. But I would start with that to see, like, do you like those books? Read about money and how money works. There's a fantastic book that I suggest everyone read. It's called The Truth About Money by Rick Edelman. It's a very high level view of across all things personal finance, investing, to buying cars, to buying houses, to investing long term, to all kinds of things. So, I mean, it's a very easy read. I'd say everyone should start with that. And then reading into Rich Dad, Poor Dad, reading into book that Jack Bogle wrote about investing. I can't think of the name of it right now, but that's where I'd say would start. If you got $1,000, like, spend a couple $100, and you're not even talking $1,000 that you have to spend. Like, continue to save and buy $200 worth of books and read through those and see if you actually get consumed by it and are interested in that. What say you?
I completely disagree. I think that was the worst advice you could have ever given.
Mm-hmm.
No, I agree 100%. That's
like, it's not how you started or anything.
So that I agree. And my advice to him was, I told him, I was like, first, you need to figure out what this investing stuff means to you, right?
Yeah.
What is it? What options do you have when it comes time to investing? Are you interested in flipping? Are you interested in rentals? Are you interested in wholesaling? Are you even interested in single family? Do you want to do multifamily? Do you want to do commercial? There's a huge space of everything. And I wish they did an updated version of this because of how real estate's changed. But a book that I really liked was, I don't remember the name.
That's good.
It was by Robert Kiyosaki. It wasn't a very famous book, but it was a thick ass book. It was called, like, I want to say it was called like The Real Estate Book or something. What I liked about it was it covered every area of real estate.
Oh, really?
Like, it covered, mobile homes. It covered everything. And that's actually one of the first books that where I learned about wholesaling. I didn't know about wholesaling way back then. Like, I think I read it like 10 years ago or something. And that was around the time it came out. And that's where I came across this investor at the time called Dean Graziosi. And he was all about wholesaling. And that's where I learned about it, because they talked about wholesaling. They talked about everything, every industry of real estate. It had a professional in that industry talking about it. So I went through it. I was kind of looking at it. I'm like, oh, this is interesting. No, I don't like that. I don't like that. And when I saw wholesaling at the time, like everybody else, I'm like,
yeah,
what? For $10? I can make $5,000? Woo! I'm gonna be rich.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I put a lot of $10 in there.
Yeah.
So the book is called The Real Book of Real Estate by Robert Kiyosaki. And if you text START to 210-794-9898, we will send you a list of the books that we recommend you start with if you're getting started in real estate. And these are going to not necessarily all be real estate related, but these are the books that we feel are a must. After these books, everything else is up to you. You should not invest any more money on education. You should invest more of your time into actually doing. So with all that being said, what I told them was, I was like, look, man, you need to first figure out what the hell do you want to do in real estate?
Yeah.
When you figure that out, when
What
you say,
attracts
you
you to
know,
it?
and then don't get me wrong, this doesn't mean that what you need to figure out what you want to do in real estate for the rest of your life, because it changes. But right now, I'm interested in flipping houses. Okay, go find yourself a local flipper, somebody that's actually rehabbing houses. And I'm talking about quite a few houses, at least 10 a year, somebody that's doing some volume. Go to them and be like, how can I provide you value? What do you want me to do? Do you want me to, where you're flipping houses, do you want me to go door knock everybody there and see if they want to sell their home? You know what I mean? Like, what would you like me to do? How can I bring you value in exchange for you showing me everything about flipping houses? You become their mentee, they become your mentor. Many investors will do this. We do this. Somebody comes to us and says, hey, look, I'm willing to learn. I'm willing to do whatever you want. I want to learn. What do you need? And you're really willing to put in the work? We'll put your ass to work, but you will learn. I mean, anybody that's ever worked with us, any wholesaler that's ever partnered with us, ask them if we don't share everything. I mean, we share how we manage the books. We share the contracts, title, closing, scopes of work, contractors. We share so much that they even stop asking questions.
Well, it's one
they're
of the
like,
things that people has asked too. Like, why would you give so much of that value away for free? Why not? It's like, one, I know how much work, we know how much work this takes.
oh yeah,
It's like, we're in this 24/7, 365, constantly dealing with the headaches that are involved in working in this business, to where it's like, we work. And like, I'll give you my full business plan, but it's also one of the things, like, I believe that we'll work harder than you at it. So you and I can take on the same strategy, but it's also, we've built this business to where we're at, to where like we learn these lessons by going through these, to where being told something and actually experiencing and learning it, two completely different schools of thought, and the kind of the school of hard knocks theory of how we learned it, to where it's like, I'm fine sharing everything we have. You have a question? I hide nothing from you. You're training your competition. Not really. Like,
no. If you look at it that way, that you're training your competition and all this, you have such a scarcity mindset, and you don't understand what it really takes. You haven't done this. If you have done any level of this, you understand that's like, yeah, share it. Because, and I mean, not only just share it. How many times have we actually sat down with somebody and shown them, like, step by step, what is it that we're doing? They still don't do it. Like, I did the workshop on literally our marketing strategy, everything that we're doing, everything that we're using, step by step. They're still not doing it.
Yeah.
You understand? They still have, and I showed them everything. Like, it wasn't anything that you're saying, oh, but you left this out. No, I showed you where we get a list, how we filter our list, what service we use, how we upload to the service, everything. The thing is that it takes a lot of work to do it.
Yep.
And they won't do it. Right? And that's the thing. It's like I told them, if you're not willing to work, just don't do this.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what you've thought or who's lied to you, but this is not something that's easy.
Not like a side job.
No,
that you do.
By any means. This is not something like
You
like
can make
a lot
some
of
money on it doing the side, but it's not.
Or like
the
a
tune
lot
that
of
you're
gurus
probably
were
believing
pitching when I got started. For 10 hours a month, you can make 15K. Like, fuck. I'm willing to work, 100 hours a week.
Yeah.
Like, that was my initial introduction to all this. Like, that's why it took me so long, because I felt like I was broken, right? Like, I felt like I was doing something wrong, because I'm like, man, I am busting my ass doing this. And they're giving me example of some hillbilly like in middle America that's making like 25 grand a month. And I'm like, I know construction, I know everything.
And that's why I said the first thing I said with $1,000 is don't go out and try to join personal development courses and things like that, gurus, because like they sell you with that. That's like, this is the one-stop shop to making your life instantly better. Just pay me, give me all your money, and I'll teach you how to do it. It's like, no, like, that's why don't start there. I was like, you need to understand what the real world is really like, especially the younger you are. I mean, we're not even that old either. Like, we're still learning every single day. But it's also like
we will never stop. We will never stop learning. Yeah. I mean, it's how many times do we take on? And this is an episode that's actually no, it dropped already. So this is an episode that came out Wednesday, and I talk about when to choose whether you're going to flip a house or you're going to keep it as a rental. How to determine that. And the biggest thing is that a lot of people, they're like, well, obviously it depends on the numbers. No, it doesn't. Because we have houses right now that they all make sense for rentals, yet we're flipping them. You know, and I talk about the five different opportunities that a house can bring to you. That is what's going to determine whether you're going to keep it as a flip or you're going to keep it as a rental or flip the house. We talked about that because that's the stuff that you need to be analyzing. You know, market conditions, partnership opportunities, learning experiences. And there's a lot of times that we've taken on a project that we had a strategy that would make us more money, but we used something else because it was going to help us in a different area of our business.
Yeah.
You know, because profit is the last thing we look at. What we look at is what area of our business do we need more help in? And that's what we look at first, and profit last, right? I mean, profits last on everything we do. It's just been a bit of an issue for us. Sometimes we put profit way too far last. But, you know, that's how we do it. But that's why we're still in business and why people like working with us, you know? And I saw Andrea on here. She had put that the property tour that we did last week was great, and she learned a lot. So it was great having you there. You asked a lot of great questions. But yeah, that was the advice. Find somebody local, give them your time, give them your value. They're going to educate you. They're going to teach you, but you gotta be willing to put in the work.